you want.
Okay, cool. I've got it going now.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll flush the bad stuff and keep the good, right?
Exactly.
Called marketing.
Exactly. Right. We'll pull out the sound bites. So how did you feel when you received your official diagnosis then?
Yeah. And I don't know if I told you, so I was out running that day and running along the lake where I live. And then I got a call from my doctor, and I've been waiting to hear from him. And then he just kind of dropped it on me. And I haven't cried in a long time, but man, I was at that moment. I did. I went down on a knee after he told me. I just sat there and about like, you know, what am I gonna do? You know, and then it was weird because then I immediately thought about the Iron Man, and that's when I started calling them. So
Right.
if you about, I don't know how long it was. I bet it was probably a minute, maybe two afterwards. Cause like, okay, all right, what am I going to do now? And I ended
Wow.
up, so I started dialing the Iron Man. I had to look up the phone number because, you know, on my phone, cause I always run with music with my phone, and nobody answers the phone. These, you know, now, so they got into their mailbox, and I just hit a button and I left a message, you know, hi, this is Dan Jaworski. I kind of got this medical condition and really I want to get into the Kona Ironman. And then I'd call right back and then hit another button. And so I probably left 30 messages to them.
That's
So
awesome.
that was my first thing I did. That was what I immediately did. So I did have a moment where, man, this thing, like, shit, you know, okay, now, all right, it's here. I can't fix what is, you know, if it is, then we got to go, how do we make the best of it? So.
Right. And manage it and
Yeah. Right.
yeah.
Yeah. There's
Right.
not, I'm pretty good with changing gears. Okay. Once I know that this happened, I'm not going to worry about, you know, any of the past. It's from today going forward. What can I do? And the past, that point, is not relevant. This is now. Let's try to make the best we can of it.
Is there something in your upbringing or professional or life experience that kind of gives you the ability to change gears like that and not
Yeah. I don't
focus
know.
on what's been and really focus on what
So,
you can do?
you know, maybe being in the investment business is that you basically, it's a decision-making business. And so you're buying
Right.
and selling things, and you know, when the conditions change on a specific company or investment, it doesn't really matter what the reasons, you know, are, or what, you know, if you loved it at one time or this, you know, you go with the best decision from today going forward. And the past really, you know, is not relevant to the current decision. So you don't want to you don't want to use the rear view mirror to make your decisions.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
for me, it's like, okay, you know, I have it. What else does that really mean? And you know, that's the bigger question. And then, you know, I think I'm jumping ahead because does that
That's
matter?
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did, and I'm going to put this out on a social media post here. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary of being diagnosed. It was the 16th.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things that I did is I remember when I remember coming back and looking at lifespan for Alzheimer's. And it was 20, 20, no, 328 was the number on there. 3 was the shortest time period. Once diagnosed, you could die within 3 years. The maximum was 20, and the average was 8.
Got it.
That was your life expectancy. It's 3 to 20 years with an average of 8. And then with this disease, it's like, okay, well, 20 years is great, but if that's really means you've lost your mind for half of that, it's really only 8 years, right? I mean,
Right.
that you're functional, and at that point, I don't know what the point is. So it's like, okay, wow, this is some serious stuff. So then to me, it's like, I just got to make every day, you know, a win. And that's kind of what I looked at is, you know, you've got lemons, man, lemonade time. You know, you go from high beams to low beams. So you just got to shorten the horizon a little bit, but that doesn't mean you still can't have a longer term focus, but you still, I mean, just trying to pack as much joy and as much wins. And, you know, I guess the biggest thing I think that I have that drives me is I just feel really grateful. I mean, even if it ended today, you know, I you know, huge win. So grateful for all the family, friends, and opportunities I've had. To be born in this country is a huge win. Just there's so many things.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't complain. So many people have had it worse. I would like to live a lot longer. I would hate to saddle my wife with a, you know, situation where I'm some kind of a, you know, mindless guy that just has to hang out till he dies, type of thing.
Right.
Just
Well,
walk
and
in.
yeah, I mean, what I admire is that you're taking
Come
it
say hi
in
to
your
me.
hands to make lifestyle decisions that
Can I
will
make an
help.
introduction to you, Julie? This is Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hey,
How are
Julie,
you?
how are you? I'm
He eats your
good.
bar.
Oh, yeah, I do eat your bars. I love your bars.
That's awesome.
I take them with me wherever I go.
I really love hearing that. That's great. How was your trip to Utah?
It was great. It was a little on the long side of the driving part, but it was
Right.
good.
She drove every mile because she had to drive every mile.
I let Dan drive 1.4 miles, and that was
to return the truck.
to return the truck. That was what I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. It was a good trip.
Good. Well, welcome back. And thanks for
Thank
sharing Dan with the world and allowing him to share his story with everybody. It's very inspiring.
You got it.
They would really like you to figure out a Facebook page for me.
Okay. Well, I can certainly help you do that.
Okay.
I'm not great with Facebook. I'm not great with it.
Right.
We'll get
You're
our
right.
other friends.
Yeah, we'll
Who would
figure
have
it out.
thought? Who would have thought? Dan's
Me
like, I'm never joining
done
any social media. I'm not doing it. I'm going to be the last person ever to do it.
Apparently,
You know,
I
it's
was.
especially,
never say
you know,
never.
in the 2020 COVID world, it's just such a great way to connect. I'm finding, and I was sharing with Dan, I talked with another fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association. He's out of Memphis and is one of the top 100 walkers in the country. And his turning point in some of his fundraising efforts were when he got on Facebook, is what he told me when I talked to him last week. And so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to put this out there for Dan and just kind of keep letting it float.
Bigger footprint. I understand. I understand the math of it, right? I mean, you just got a wider audience.
Right.
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 School.
It was good.
Good.
It was a good day.
All right.
I'm going to go put my stuff down. So nice
All right.
to see you.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Good to see
soon.
you too.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. So you were talking about kind of, you know, taking things into your own hands and not becoming this burden, for lack of a better description, for your wife, and you know, being grateful for everything that you had. So yeah, I mean, I guess what I admire there is your willingness really to do, you know, make the changes that are necessary. And like you were saying, really view it from today going forward. You know, everything else is water under the bridge. You can't really do anything about what's been done. You can only do things differently going forward. And I think that's a really admirable, valuable approach to life. And I think for your situation, or any of our situations, that's really all you can do. You can't play Monday morning quarterback and change what happened.
Yeah, I did a podcast with this lady, and I told her on there, I said, you know, you can't choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you respond.
Right.
And so part of it for me is I want to be like, for my kids, for my wife, I want them to see that I can take the punch. I can take this punch, and you know, life goes on, and we're going to have a great time. And if it goes really south, well, then there's going to be, the pain's going to be for them, not for me. I mean, it's, you know, but that's, none of us get out of here, right, without it all, right?
Right.
So,
yep.
You know, and so what you don't want to do is make today miserable when you don't know if there's a tomorrow. So you might as well try to, if you're blessed with some health and some, then just be, you know, there's a lot to be grateful for, even in the worst of circumstances.
Yeah, totally agree.
Right.
I love that.
And
so let me ask you this too, then, you know, was there a time where you've hit rock bottom emotionally? And if so,
you know,
what's kind of helped you pull through that?
I mean, I haven't really gone through that. I mean, I'll tell you what the she's going there. The real, the real demon that goes through my mind is that if I do lose this battle, right? And if I do, I at that point, and I talked to a buddy of mine, I said, look, man, I need you to come stick a needle in my arm and send me on my way. Cause I don't want, if I lose it and I'm just a functioning person without the ability to speak, to communicate and do anything. I don't want them to do it a little early. Like right now would be bad for them to do that to me, but you know what I mean? That's my personal view, is I just don't, cause I'm healthy enough. I could live forever, not forever, but I could live a really long time. And I don't know. So that's the weird part it goes through my head every now and then. If I lose, then what's that look like for them?
Right. So do you think that's your biggest motivating factor in making these changes then, is like preventing that from happening? No,
I just want to, I really enjoy being here. I really like, we're so blessed to have the opportunity to wake up every day and see sunrises and sunsets and, have the opportunity to go do things. And I've got 2 unbelievable kids. I'd love to, one just got married. The other, I'm curious to see what path they go down and all that. And so, I like being here. I'm really not ready to go.
Yeah. I agree. It's a fun journey. That's for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to do. I still want to go see and do a lot of different things. And, I want to go to Machu Picchu, and
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to, when we can start flying again. I guess we can in some places, but,
right. More broadly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So kind of digging back to your comment on nutrition from earlier, are there certain foods or triggers, maybe looking back, knowing how much you've changed your diet, that you can tell have an effect on your brain function? Or you mentioned giving up some foods, any additional insight to eating certain things or why you gave up certain things that are kind of helping you chart this path of trying to do all you can?
Yeah. So I've kind of basically a pretty close version of the Mediterranean diet is what I'm on.
Yep.
And this was at the urging of my doctor, my neuro guy, and just doing a lot of research too. And like I said, going kind of back to the investment business, I remember visiting a company in the Netherlands, and they were talking, they're in food business, they're talking about, they call them foodaceuticals. And they said food has pharmacological properties. And all these green things that we have around here, your gut biome. I do think, using what's in front of us versus, creating cones and things out of, sugar is got to be much better for you. It's not real rocket sciencey. It's just kind of the simple stuff, getting a holistic view of getting a lot of, healthy fruits in there. I guess the only thing that, I don't mind the fats. I like the fats that you get in like avocados and all that. So I do believe that, like, for me, I feel good right now when I eat better. Brain function wise, I don't always know if that's, I can't tell. Like, I can't tell several things. I can't tell I'm on the one drug. Does it work? I can't tell you if the hyperbaric thing, I'm doing that. I can't tell you if it works. And all these food changes, I know I feel good though. So I believe in that, but I can't prove it.
Got it. Okay. But you do notice a difference in at least your day-to-day feelings based off of changes in your nutrition.
Yeah, my body feels good. I feel good. And I think when your body feels good, I think your mind does better as well. And, and I'm the kind of guy that can go to an extreme a little bit too. So I don't mind. I feel better when I am as well. I feel like I'm improving my odds if I don't have any, if I don't cheat on the plan. Like I'll never eat red meat again. I just won't. I guess I could. If it was in something that I didn't know about, but I'm never gonna do it on my own.
Intentionally do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
So just,
Okay.
you know, I like it. I love a good burger and all that, but it's just, you know, I'm stronger
Right.
mentally if I draw the line here and say, come get me, you know?
Are there any difficult times for you in trying to make eating changes or lifestyle? Like, you know, if you're
Yeah.
celebrating an anniversary or, you know, at your
A
son's
wedding.
wedding or anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, though they did a pretty good job of accommodating me. Traveling is the hardest, really, without a doubt. Go to an airport, you know, so, okay. But, you know, now you can find an Apple or you can find some things, but usually there it's like, you know, all the bars there aren't like your bars. They're, you know, high sugar and everything. They have a few of the other ones in there. And some places have a little bit of the yogurts and all that. So, but you're limited in your entrees. You know, I'm eating salad basically wherever I'm going to go. And some salads are healthier than others too. You know, it depends on what you have, and you can ruin them with all kinds of other stuff as well. Not ruin them, but you can make them less healthy with, you know,
I mean,
things.
there's a lot of research on just like, I would call it a standard salad at, you know, places that are all over the country, and the dressing is just like a demise, or you have candied walnuts or whatever it is that's added in there, and people think that they're eating a good meal, and in reality, you know, it could be worse than having something that's deep fried for them because of all the sugars or the fake stuff that's included in it. So, and actually, I think I've shared this with you, but that's the kind of the first time that Remembers came to being was after my father traveled from Virginia to Texas when I was living in Texas. He and my mom came to see me, and they just didn't eat properly on that trip, and he just completely essentially had a big mental breakdown because he didn't have the nutrition that he needed during the travel. So the part of the idea behind Remembers was to have something, even as your wife was saying, you can take it with you anywhere, and you have it with you, and you have something quick that you can put in your body that you know is hopefully doing some good for it, that's nutritious.
Right. And so that's a great thing. Like when we just flew back from Utah, because we drove out and flew back, I mean, we'd bring the bars along. I mean, just to have, because at least I know I've got some, I'm going to be able to starve. Yeah. I like them anyway. It's just, you know, it's a great thing for me to just throw in the backpack. You know,
that's awesome. Good. Yeah. That's what they're intended for. That's part of why we made them.
I'm grateful. Believe me. Thank you.
So if you had a message to pass along to anybody worried about their brain health, what would your message be to them, Dan?
You do have levers that you can pull to, you know, I don't know if you can stop it, but you can, if you have it, but you have levers that you can pull to make your situation improve from what it could be. And those are not that hard. I think they'll make you feel better. And if you are predisposed to get it, you'll thank me for suggesting those changes, because it could buy a number of years to your life that are high quality. If you know, and again, some people are bulletproof. They can eat anything and all this stuff, and it doesn't matter. You know, it's like the guy that smokes all his life and lives to 100. There's always one of those. But the vast majority of people, science, you know, they're the ones that are dead at 50, you know, and have had emphysema for half of that time and all that. Yeah. So, you know,
again, kind of going back to your investment analogies, the statistics, right? You got to pay attention to what the statistics would tell you could happen, right?
I'm a probability
play your
guy.
Odds.
I'm a probability. Seriously, it's a lot of probability. And so, you know, what gives me the best chance here? And I've tried to go the hardest. I mean, there's not many levers, and the ones I can pull, I'm going to beat the crap out of that thing.
Right. That's awesome. Awesome. That's good advice. Maybe more specifically getting into Remembers. I know we just touched on it, but how did you find Remember? I think I know the answer to this. And what impact has it had on your journey? Like, does it help you in some sort of way? Peace of mind? Any insight on Remember specifically?
Well, I think I need you to help me with this too, because how did I get in contact? I contacted you, right?
Yeah, so it was over Instagram.
I was just looking at anybody with Alzheimer's stuff, and I was trying to, you know, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then it's kind of, and then oh, by the way, I've got this bar company, right? Is that
Yeah.
is that the genesis, right? Or not?
Actually, so my wife was working on our social media, and I think she had reached out to you and connected with you based off of some of the hashtags that you had used in your posts.
Okay,
and then,
I'll have to go back.
Yeah, and then I think you started following Remember, and then you were the first customer. You're the first paying customer that we had. Yeah. So even before, I think we had the website set up to take payments, and it was like, it's there. And like, we weren't trying to do anything. And you were like, all right, I want to buy them. And we're like, okay, they're coming in 3 months. If you want to buy them, that's fine. And I think you're like, yeah, okay, cool.
I like being the first customer. I like being the first customer. Oh, by the way,
awesome.
my credit card got hacked. So my order, the repeat order, it got denied because it's on my Visa, and my Visa they're sending me a new one. So I can give you my Amex card if you want, or we can just wait. My Visa should get in the mail in a day or two.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we'll
sidebar.
Yeah,
but
you
yeah.
keep getting the bars.
So okay, so
yeah. So yeah, that, just going back to the social media stuff, creating an audience and finding ways to connect with people. There are a lot of people that are out there that you are connecting with over that platform, and that's kind of what brought us together as well.
I was just trying to find anybody that in the Alzheimer's community. I mean, that's my goal by getting on social media. I was trying to find other people like me that were, still cognitively okay, and try to learn from them, and there's just hardly anybody my age that I've been able to connect. I did one of those groups where you meet other people, and these these people were 20, 30 years older than Julie and I, and we went with a bunch of couples, and the ones that had the disease just were kind of like staring out the window the whole time and nonverbal. So I kind of got a preview then of what could be, and I don't want that for her. I don't know. So that's kind of part of the motivation. So like when you think about giving up, not eating pie or whatever people like, that's not a big give for me to, I can elongate or stretch that out. So I basically, because I with doing the Ironman, I was trying to find people that I could say, hey, look, I'm doing this. And if you know someone with the disease, I want to do it for them. I'm trying to get these people. I got like 10 slots left. So that's been pretty cool too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I've got so many interesting stories. I've got a woman that was a concentration camp. Her grandmother was concentrated. I got people in Venezuela, Australia, all over. A domestic violence survivor out of Mexico. That, just all these people that have wanted somebody, that have people in their family that have, we're all kind of connected by the old Alzheimer's disease. So.
Yeah. What I'm finding too with Remember, obviously my connection to you, I really appreciate, but also other customers. I think there are 3 customers here in San Diego that are joining the TLD committee to help fundraise for the Alzheimer's Association because of the connection through Remember. And I'm like, I didn't really, expect to get volunteers out of my business as, customers. And it's awesome. The community aspect of connecting with people around this and trying to learn from folks and what they're doing with this has been really, really touching for me.
Yeah. The ALS community is kind of this, it's got a lot of heartbreak, but it's got a lot of grit and resilience in it. And I've been, it's been really good for me to have some ways to go to that. I've met my first Alzheimer's friend who actually lives in Florida, Nancy Wooten, on there. And Nancy's a hoot. She puts these videos. She's got cancer and Alzheimer's.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And she's a hoot. So, but so there's been a few on there. So it's been great,
Yeah, that's awesome. So, for folks who listen to this, depending how we utilize this, or folks who are reading articles that we push out or whatever it happens to be, how can they support what you're doing?
Yeah, well, I think if they can support Alzheimer's, if they support either the Alzheimer's Association or the Women's Alzheimer's Movement, is probably the best way to go if you want to do something like that. For me personally, I'm good. I mean, what I would tell people is, you don't want this to hit your family, your grandparents, your mother and dad, or even people like me. And I've talked to some people that are, that I've gotten that have been in their 40s that have gotten it at that point, which is really young. So, this is a serious thing, and it seems to be growing. And I just would hope they would want to help eradicate it.
Right. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. And yeah. You and I talked about this before recording, but the Alzheimer's Association and Women's Alzheimer's Movement both doing a lot of great work to raise awareness, help find solutions to the disease, put out research that gives insight to ways that you can prevent it, and obviously try to find cures medically as well, and provide support groups and everything. So I love those recommendations.
Yeah, helping people navigate it. And, and a lot of people, it bankrupts people too. That's, one of the things that people don't always realize is that this thing crushes families, because you have people now that need medical attention continuously. And so you're in, you either have to do that at home or in a facility. And so there's a lot of stories about people losing homes, businesses, and, and then one person's either in some facility, and the rest of the family is now kind of living in, with other family, or in an apartment that were in a house before. So there's a lot of, it's not just one person that gets affected. There can be this domino of the entire family, and the financial burden can be quite high too. And so that's another reason to, eat a Rim bar instead of, Skittles, right? Or something like that.
Right.
Why would you, and I'm not telling, people want to have snacks here and there, or treats, great, do it. But have your 90-10 or whatever the ratio is. And, just, it's too, the other side's tough. It's just a tough deal. It's tough on, on many levels.
Right. Yep. Totally. So I'm going to circle back to one of the things we talked about prior to starting recording, Dan, and just, the question was, was there anything you noticed in your 20s, 30s, or 40s looking back on, maybe kind of similar to what we just talked about, but if somebody were in their 20s, 30s, or 40s, what's your biggest piece of advice for them in terms of managing or thinking about, this is an old person's disease, right? Nothing to worry about. There are things they should pay attention to and things they should be doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, the things that I would be doing are kind of diet, exercise, mind engagement, would be probably the biggest. Those are the ones that you can control, and those are very simple. And you don't have to be, to the nth degree on that. That's what you can do. That's right. That's the simplest thing to do for anybody. And I think if nothing, it's going to help you in every other aspect. So I think you'll feel more energetic. Your mind will work better, and you'll just feel good by doing that. To me,
right. Awesome.
Yeah.
This is good, man. Again, I appreciate you kind of unloading and we can through some of this stuff.
Through it, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think
did I send you the podcast? Did you hear that or not?
Yeah, I did. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a month ago, right?
Yeah.
Mind
What matters. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, she's good.
And I have reached out. I mentioned the last time that we talked, I've reached out to the TLD manager there in Florida as well, and trying to think of other ways we can heighten your story and get more attention.
Who did you talk to? Do you remember?
To Carly.
Oh yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
And so we've been interacting. Actually, I sent her some Remembars as well to give her an opportunity to try them and get her perspective on it. But I'll probably coordinate with her a little bit, but I love that you're getting on with Women Alzheimer's movement.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really, really beneficial.
It's going to be on the 28th. It's a panel thing. Maria Shriver, a couple other people, me, and I don't know how long I'll be on it. I think it's hour long. It's a fundraiser. I'll send you a link to the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to attend that.
I literally just talked to them, right? Hung up 2 minutes later, and then we went on the phone. So, yeah.
Awesome.
But
good.
yeah,
well, I'll circle back with my my marketing lead on this and let her kind of listen to the things that we talked about, and we'll obviously coordinate and share anything that we want to do with you prior to utilizing it. And then secondarily, I might take you up on the opportunity to work with your wife a little bit more on the Facebook stuff. So
yeah, I mean,
I think once we massage this we can talk more about that. And I totally understand your goal on wanting to find people you can connect with, but also not wanting to manage something else with everything else you have going on. So our objective in supporting you there would be to do those two things: help get your story out there and connect with more people, but also not make it a burden on you where you're worried about, the next post or something like that. We would help coordinate what that looks like so that it's not something you're worried about.
Well, right now we have a good window because with the Ironman, I've got a whole year of stuff leading up to that. And that's an interesting story to a lot of people. They like that.
I think so.
So that's a, and then from beyond there, we'll see. But if that helps you guys sell more stuff and keep this thing going better and blow it out, then I'm happy to do it, man. Okay. I wouldn't tell you if I didn't, I wouldn't offer if I didn't believe in it. So, and I didn't like your stuff. So.
I appreciate it, Dan. Thank you. Well, good. Well, again, thank you. Hope you enjoy your evening, and I'll loop back with you separately on the recurring orders, and we can work something out to get you back on that. And then I'll take this and share it with Jara.
Yeah, just have somebody call me, and I'll give them a new credit card number, or do I got to put it in on the computer?
Probably put it in on the computer is probably going to be the best way, but I'll make sure I get you the details to do that.
I got to remember where the hell I have that, so that's going to be.
I'll help you. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.
Be good.
Bye.
Bye.